You've been sitting here since midnight. Not because you're thinking about work, not because you're worried about money. You're sitting here because of a phone call this afternoon. Your father called, and you're still shaking.
I'm not shaking, I'm just tired. He told me to come home for New Year. My wife wants to go too. My kid asked why Dad isn't happy. I have to be happy, right? I have to go. It's my duty.
Duty. Beautiful word. You use it like a shield. Every time you think about your parents, you pull it out and hold it in front of your chest. But let me ask you something simple. When you hear your father's voice, what do you feel?
I don't know. Anxious, tense. Like something's choking me.
Exactly. Like something's choking you. You're 35 years old. You have a wife and kids. You have a career. But one phone call from your father still makes you unable to breathe. That's not filial piety. That's trauma.
Don't say that. Trauma makes it sound like I'm weak. My dad hit me a lot back then, that's true. But that was just how they raised kids back then. He struggled too. He provided for the whole family.
Ah, there it is. The mantra you've been repeating for 20 years. My dad struggled too. That was just how they raised kids back then. You know what it's called when the person who caused the pain makes the victim defend them?
I'm not defending him. I'm just being realistic. Everyone hit their kids back then. It wasn't just my dad.
Gaslighting. That's what they call it. But the most dangerous gaslighting isn't from your father. It's from yourself. You gaslight yourself every single day. Every time you feel angry, you push it down with, "Dad struggled too." Every time you want to scream, "Why did you hit me?" you silence yourself with, "That was just how they raised kids." You are your own jailer.
So what do you want me to do? Yell in my father's face, "You hurt me?" Then what? I become an ungrateful son? People will say I'm disrespectful, that I've forgotten my roots. I can't do that.
People will say. Those 4 words are the invisible chains binding you. I'm not telling you to yell in your father's face. I'm telling you to look at the truth. You're angry, and you have every right to be angry.
I'm not angry at my dad. Sometimes I remember and it bothers me. But that's the past. I'm grown up now. I need to move on.
Move on. Another beautiful phrase. What are you doing right now, man? You're denying your own emotions. You call anger bothered. You call wounds the past. You're doing exactly what your father did, crushing emotions down and telling them, "Don't be weak."
But if I admit I'm angry, then what? What do I do with that anger? I don't want to become like my dad. I don't want to yell. I don't want to hit my kid.
And that's your real fear. You're not afraid of being angry. You're afraid you'll become like your father. But listen, the fact that you're afraid of that proves you're already different. Your father was never afraid. He hit and felt no remorse. And you? You flinch every time your voice rises. You apologize to your kid every time you lose your temper. You're already different, but you refuse to see it because you're still wearing the label son of a violent man.
I never thought of it that way. I just thought if I'm angry at my dad, I'm bad. I'm broken.
No. If you keep suppressing that anger, it will rot inside and poison everything. It will leak out in how you talk to your wife, in how you look at your kid, in how you hate yourself every morning you wake up. Anger isn't the enemy. Anger is the messenger. It's telling you something's wrong. A boundary has been violated.
But you don't understand. In our culture, children aren't allowed to be angry at their parents. It's an unwritten law. Filial piety comes first. If I say I'm angry, the whole family will turn their backs. My wife won't understand either. She'll say, "You need to be understanding toward your father."
Oh, so this isn't about your emotions. This is about what other people think. Are you living your life, or are you performing a role for an audience to applaud? Let me ask you, if no one knew, if no one judged, would you dare say, "I'm angry at my father for what he did"?
I don't know, maybe yes. But the reality is people will know, and they'll talk.
They'll talk. So what? Their talking won't kill you. But swallowing this anger every day, that's killing you. Slowly, silently. You're trading your mental health to maintain the image of the good son. But let me tell you the truth. That image isn't yours. It's a shadow your parents created, and you're living in its darkness.
But if I step out of that shadow, where will I be? Who will I be?
Now that's the right question. And the most terrifying answer you have to face is, you don't know. You've lived in the role of the good son for so long, you've forgotten who you really are. But here's the good news. You're still young, 35 years old. You have 30, 40 years ahead of you. Do you want to spend it continuing to wear that mask? Or do you want to live authentically?
What does living authentically mean? You keep talking like I'm lying. But I'm not lying. I love my parents. I'm grateful to them. They fed me, educated me, they raised me.
And this is the most subtle trap. You think anger and gratitude can't coexist. You think if you admit your father hurt you, you have to deny everything he gave you. But that's faulty binary thinking. Listen, you can be grateful your father fed and educated you, and at the same time, you can be angry that he hit you. These two things don't cancel each other out. They coexist. That's the complex truth of being human.
But if I'm angry at my dad, what do I do? I can't cut off the relationship. I have a wife and kids. Both are families.
Who said you have to cut anyone off? That's another extreme thought. You think there are only two choices, either shut up and endure or cut off completely. But there's a third path. It's called boundaries. You can maintain a relationship with your parents, but you set boundaries. You say, "I love my parents, but I don't accept being yelled at. I don't accept being criticized in front of my children. If that happens, I will leave the room." That's a boundary. That's not disrespectful. That's self-protection.
But my parents won't understand. They'll think I'm being disrespectful. They'll say, "I raised you and you dare make demands of me."
Yes, they'll say that, because they were raised in a system where power belonged absolutely to parents. They don't know what boundaries are, because no one ever taught them. But that's not a reason for you to keep enduring. You can't change your parents, but you can change how you respond to them. And here's the most important thing. When you set boundaries, you're not just protecting yourself, you're teaching your child how to love themselves. You're breaking the cycle of generational violence.
My kid keeps asking, "Why is Dad mad at Grandpa?" I say nothing's wrong, but the kid sees me tense up every time Grandpa calls. What am I teaching my kid?
You're teaching your kid that emotions must be hidden, that men can't be angry, that you have to smile when you're in pain. You're repeating exactly what your father did to you. That's the cruel irony. You're afraid of being like your father, but by suppressing your emotions, you're walking his exact path. The only difference is, your father used physical violence, and you use emotional violence against yourself.
I never thought of it that way. I thought I was protecting my kid. I didn't want my kid to see the family fractured.
But your kid already sees. Children aren't stupid. They sense the tension. They see their father stiffen every time the phone rings. They see their father's forced smile when grandpa talks. And they learn the lesson. This is how you love. Silently. Swallow the tears. Pretend to be strong. Do you want your kid to grow up like you? Sitting here at midnight, 35 years old, still shaking at your father's voice?
No, I don't want that. But what do you want me to do? I don't know where to start. I'm scared.
Being scared is normal, but fear isn't a reason to stand still. I'll tell you where to start. You start by admitting the truth to yourself. Not to your father, not to your wife, to yourself. You look in the mirror and say, I'm angry at my father for what he did. And that's okay. I have the right to feel this way.
If I say that, if I admit that, then what happens next?
Next, you stand at a crossroads. Path number 1. You continue as before. You go home for New Year. You smile. You nod when your father talks. You swallow every criticism. You come home and drink to forget. You snap at your kid over something small. Your wife asks, "What's wrong with you?" You say, "Nothing." And the cycle continues. 3 more years, 5 more years, 10 more years, until you look back and realize you've lived your entire life in your father's shadow. That's path number 1.
And path number 2?
Path number 2. You choose to live authentically. You don't have to confront your father right now, but you start setting boundaries, slowly, one step at a time. Maybe you go home, but stay at a hotel instead of your parents' house. Maybe you limit your time there, 2 days instead of 5. Maybe when your father yells, you say, "I need to step outside for a moment," and leave the room. That's not disrespectful. That's self-protection. And most importantly, you talk to your wife. You tell the truth. You say, "You know, I'm struggling with childhood wounds. I need you to understand and support me." Maybe your wife won't understand right away, but at least you've started telling the truth. That's path number 2.
Path number 2 sounds scary, but it also sounds lighter, like I can breathe.
That's the difference between freedom and captivity. Captivity is familiar. It hurts, but you know it. Freedom is unfamiliar. It's scary because you've never had it. But once you taste it, you'll never want to go back. So what do you choose? Path number 1 or path number 2?
I choose path number 2, but I don't know if I'm strong enough.
You don't need to know. You just need to start. And I'll tell you the first step. The first step isn't talking to your father. The first step is talking to yourself. Tonight, before you sleep, you sit down, get paper and pen, write one sentence. I'm angry at my father for hitting me when I was young, and that's okay. Write it out, read it, let it sink in. You don't need to show anyone, it's for you. That's change order number 1. Admit it to yourself.
That's it?
That's it. Sounds simple. But I bet when you pick up that pen, your hand will shake. When you write the word angry, you'll want to cross it out. That's when you know you're touching truth. Don't cross it out. Write it. Let it exist. That's step 1. Step 2. Tomorrow you talk to your wife. You don't need to say everything. Just say, "Honey, I'm trying to face some things from my past. I need you to be patient with me." Short, honest. You don't need to explain details. Just open the door.
What about going home for New Year? Do I have to go?
You don't have to do anything. That's the whole point. But if you choose to go, set boundaries. For example, you go for 3 days instead of 5. You stay at a nearby hotel. Every afternoon, you spend an hour walking alone to decompress. And if your father yells, you say, "I need to step out." Then you leave the room. That's not running away. That's protecting your emotional space. Change order number 3. Don't drink to forget. If you feel stressed, call a friend. Write in a journal. Exercise. But don't pour your emotions into a bottle. Alcohol only freezes the wound. It doesn't heal it.
You talk like you believe I can do this.
I don't believe you can. I know you can. The difference is, belief is vague hope. Knowing is recognizing that you've lived through 35 years with that wound, and you're still standing here. You're already strong enough. You've just been using your strength in the wrong place. You've been using it to endure. Now learn to use it to set boundaries.
I'll write that sentence tonight. I'm angry at my father for hitting me when I was young. And that's okay. I'll talk to my wife tomorrow, and I'll set boundaries when I go home. But what if I fail? What if I swallow it all down again like I always do?
Failure is part of the process. But listen, every time you swallow it down, the price you pay increases. Today you swallow, tomorrow you lose sleep. Next week you swallow, next month you snap at your kid. Next year you swallow. 5 years from now, you're sitting in a doctor's office hearing a depression diagnosis. That's the price. And if you fail at setting boundaries, the price is just a moment of discomfort. You try again, you learn, you adjust, but you don't give up. Because the price of giving up is your entire life.
I understand. I promise you. I'll start tonight. I'll write that sentence. And I'll try. Really try.
Don't promise me. Promise your child. Promise you'll break the cycle. Promise your child will grow up in a home where emotions are respected. Promise that 30 years from now, your child won't be sitting in darkness like you're sitting here. That's the promise worth making.
I promise my child. I'll break the cycle. I'll learn to live authentically. I'll set boundaries. I won't let fear control me anymore.
Good. Now stand up. Turn off the light. Go to sleep. Tomorrow is the first day of your new path. It will be hard. It will be scary. But for the first time in your life, you'll breathe without anything choking you. That's freedom. And you deserve it.
Thank you. I don't know what else to say.
You don't need to say anything. Action is enough. Now go. And remember, anger isn't a sin. It's a survival instinct. It's your true self's voice screaming, "I deserve to be treated better." Listen to it, respect it, and live by it.